Hi everyone, just thought I'd do a nice little short video today on how to use our craft slicers. Now the reason that I use this is when I send a project to my my Cricut machine, I like to just have the little square, the surface area of the vinyl that I need on my Cricut mat. I don't like to stick down a huge big piece of vinyl, do my little design, and then have to worry about the whole lot, the big square of vinyl. So I cut the surface that I need before I stick it onto my Cricut mat, and that is where this little guy comes in. Now it's a craft slicer. I've got the Cricut brand. You certainly don't need to have a Cricut brand. I just got this with my pack of Cricut tools as a little pack. So you certainly don't need a Cricut brand. There are generic ones. There are different brands. Whichever one you have should work pretty much the same way. So let's just do it today. The first thing that you'll notice, whoop, hello, this little guy pops straight out. This is your width and this is your height. That's the way I do it. So I pop my vinyl in from the right hand side. I feed it through if I can get it to go in there. So I always feed from the right to the left. This is my width, that's my height. What I do is I write down when I'm doing a project the vinyl that I need. I write it down. Grey, I need a width of 11.5 centimeters. I'm doing centimeters. If you're in America, go for it with your inches. That's the height. So 11.5 width, 15 height, so on and so forth. Black, 15.5 width, 17 height. So I just write that down. Pencil and paper's fine. I love gadgets, so I've just got this little LCD tablet there. So the way that it works, with your arm extended and your vinyl feeding it in from the right to the left. Our grey, we want 11.5 width and 15 high. So what you want to do is you want to feed this across this line to your width line. So that's 11.5. So that's about there. And you've got two little raised sections. Make sure that that vinyl is flush up against there. Now, before you close your blade, this is your blade. What you want to do is make sure that your blade is all the way up to the top. And the reason for that is if you closed that while it was there, you're going to damage your vinyl. That's going to either pierce it or it's going to put, at the very least, a big ugly dent. So make sure that that's all the way up to the top. Close that. Just make sure, so our width, we've come across here to our 11.5, and our height we're going to cut down. So feed across to your width, slice down to your height. So we've got our width across here to the 11.5 mark. Now we just need to slice down to the 15 mark, which is here. You've got your centimeters on this side and your inches on that side. So we're going to come down to our 15, which is just about there. Open that up, rotate that around to the right, feed it back in, and what you want to do this time, always flush with the top, is always up to the top with your blade. What you want to do is close that down, and you want to make sure, and you should be able to see that in this middle section, you will see that that's where your cut mark starts. So just to get that last little bit, whoops, cut, we're going to slice back down there. Should come back down to 11.5. Bingo! There's our first little 11.5 by 15, sorry, 11.5 by 15 sheet of vinyl. That's just your scrap there. Pop that in where you pop your scraps, and that's ready to go for the next one. So I just want to do another one just to show you. So the black, 15.5 across and 17 down. So always put your blade up to the top, feed in from the right, and it doesn't matter whether you do it there or there, it doesn't really matter. Okay, flush with the top. So this time our width, always width and height. So always feeding across your width and slicing down your height. So our black width is 15.5 and our height is 17. So we're feeding across 15.5. Flush here, flush there, 15.5. Close that, and we're slicing down to 17. Lift that up, rotate around to the right, flush with that, lift that back up to the top, move that back down. This is your cut line here. This little indent here and here, that's your cut line. So you want to make sure that where you've cut that is as close to that cut line as you can get. So just open that up a little bit. There's your cut lines. Try and line that up as much as you can. Close that. Just make sure that that's where it should be in the middle there. And usually I wouldn't be lifting it up. I just want to do that to show you for the camera. Okay, let's flush. Slice that back down. Should come down to about 17. There you go. There's your second piece. And now you would just do that over and over with your other pieces. Open that back up. That's your scrap. So just remember, up to the top, close it. So just remember, feed in from the right, line up your width, slice your height. So feed in from the left, line up your width, slice down to your height. I hope that explains it. I hope I haven't confused you, but that's the easiest way that I find to use these little craft slicers. And when you finish, that means that you've got all of your pieces exactly the right size. So then, if you were to get your mat, the grey 11.5 across and 15 down, if you were to stick that on now, obviously we'd take that off. That's exactly right. 11.5 across and 15 down. Black was 11.5 across, 15.5 across, 17 down. 15.5 across, 17 down. Absolutely perfect. So always remember, pull out your extension arm. Always start with your blade in the top position. Feed in from the right to your width mark and slice down to your right. Rotate to your right and slice down the middle. Hope that helps. Follow me. I'm going to be actually doing my little koala, pressing the coloured layers onto a little cotton shopping bag next. So stay with me. Okay.